Patti Schevers. I'm the Farmers Market Manager with Downtown Green Bay Inc. and Old Main Street Inc. So my background and how I got into this position today and my interest in food systems all stems from a very young age. I grew up on a farm in Oneida, Wisconsin, and my family always took pride in raising their own produce and beef and things of that nature. I'm the fourth generation on my family's farm, and I vividly remember like my grandmother's garden, huge garden, and I heard stories about how they always raised their own everything really. They were definitely like homesteaders when homesteading was a thing, like the way that people lived. When I grew up there, we had beef cattle, dairy cattle, and also gardens, and my dad passed away when I was 14, and my mom had to take over the family farm, and she was a nursing instructor from Fox Valley Technical College, so she didn't really have any interest in being a farmer, so to speak, so she rented the property for 25 years. And during that time, I went and had a completely separate life, traveled the world, lived in many places. I was in the hair industry actually for 15 years as an instructor and educator. And I came back to the community wanting not only to come home and live back on the farm, but figure out a way that the farm could come back into the family. So at that stage, I contacted NWTC and Valerie D'Antoine and wanted to find out, what type of program they had. They had a sustainable agriculture program, so I enrolled and totally did a career change midstream, and it opened up my eyes to a lot of different things that were going on in the community, in our food systems, just on a local level, but also a national level, and just had me realize that this is where I wanted to direct my energy and my focus. So going back to my former career, when I was in the hair industry, I worked at a lot of big hair events. So I was really good at organizing people and projecting concepts and giving people direction and inspiring them for change in the hair community. So one thing that happened when I was at NWTC with Val is that I became really interested in agricultural tourism and how I could be part of that. And I wanted to kind of look at different things I could do on my family farm and also in the community to help involve not only events but the agricultural community. And food was always a thing. I've always been a localvore, or a person that really wants to find organic things that are made quality versus quantity. So that's always in the back of my mind as a person, like one of my morals and my beliefs. I went through the program, and I also infused an event management component into the degree, the associate's degree from NWTC. So I had two amazing faculty advisors. One was Val, one was Lisa Hickman, and they helped me kind of navigate my degree to really tailor towards something of this nature. This hadn't appeared in my university yet. I hadn't even ever thought about it being a farmer's market manager, but I just thought, I want to bring people and agriculture together, so this is perfect. Graduated from NWTC last year, and it was in the midst of COVID, so I hadn't thought about doing anything differently. I just wanted to kind of continue on my path. So I actually transferred my degree over to UWGB to continue my bachelor's degree in organizational leadership. And lo and behold, I wasn't looking for anything, but one of my instructors from NWTC sent me a job post for this position, and she said, "Patti, this is perfect for you." So I submitted my information, and yeah, it's been an amazing experience, and I love where I'm at in the community, how I can help to incorporate people, the community, events, and agriculture all into a city that I really care a lot about, and I want to see just diversified community systems, food systems integration with how people raise things, where it comes from, bringing people that might not be able to afford food at a higher level into an area that it is more sovereign and more people can access food. So I'm just really happy to be in this role and in this position and have this chance. So the farmers market is a special place that allows people to come and access fresh produce. Now we have over 144 booths for our farmers market. We have 63% of that is fresh produce. So we really brag on that fact. That's really where our heart lies, with the fresh produce. And then our processed foods, so like pickles and jams and things of that nature. And then we have prepared foods and arts and crafts. But that isn't the primary focus. We really want to make sure that people are accessing fresh produce, fresh meats and eggs and cheese and breads and things of that nature. And it really does bring that wall down and allow everyone across income levels to have access to the same amazing things. As I see it, with our conventional food system, I completely believe that it reflects our healthcare system. So you really need to look at what you're putting into your body before you can just put a Band-Aid on something externally. So I really think a lot of the issues that our country faces really is a food crisis, and it has to do with where people are getting their food from. And realizing that quantity isn't everything, quality is more important, and really reaching out to your local farmer is really what's the most crucial aspect, because you can get things that haven't been refrigerated for a long time. They don't have preservatives in it. There aren't chemicals and like crazy antibiotics. When you buy local and you stay really close to that food system, you're far more integrated into it, and you're also getting the best possible products. And you know, historically, people used to eat seasonally with what was available in their community. And I think, you know, with everything that's gone on in our day and age and globalization and trying to industrialize everything and make these massive amounts of things, we've lost sight of what's really truly important, and where we can get our produce is really, it should be on a local level. We should be supporting what we have right in our community before we reach out and try to buy things from, you know, different countries far, far away. It's so important for the community to get to know their local farmers, because that is who's making their food. I mean, you want to know what that person is doing on a personal level, but on a systems level. They're putting their heart and soul into that tomato or that piece of beef or that chicken or eggs. They're working so hard to make sure that they're giving you so much for your money, quality wise. That animal has been raised ethically. It's been raised, you know, on pastures. Hopefully it's had a really great life, and they're bringing all of that life and substance to you in the form of some edible goodness. And it's just great to know where people are coming from and how they're treating their animals and treating the soil and working within all of the food systems, because you want to make sure that you're getting not only high quality, the highest quality you can afford, but also you're getting food that's not degrading the ecosystem at the same time. You're not providing, you know, clear cutting forests or having monocrops and things of that nature where there's no ecological buffers between the water systems and the farms. You want to have all of it kind of work together and integrate into a sustainable ecosystem and a sustainable farm management system. And that's, people don't think about all that, but it has a domino effect. You know, buying one thing from a person that you truly believe is looking out for you is so important, because they're not only looking out for you, but they're looking out for the community and the place that they have their farm. So it's just really important. Yeah, the community is a huge factor in supporting the farmers market. So we have this amazing location and right down in downtown Green Bay, the heart and soul of Green Bay, you know, right on Washington. We're amongst a lot of condominiums and business and office buildings and a lot of like stores and different retail businesses. But it's really important to bring that community downtown to support the farmers who are beyond our city walls, and really working together to have a collective environment where we all make money and support each other through commerce, but also just like as humans, we want that social interaction. And that is what a farmer's market is. You can come and talk to that farmer. You can find out how they're doing. You can see your friends and family at these places. You can learn about things at the farmer's market. We've offered a couple different events as the season has moved on, some family-focused events. We've had the vaccination bus present. We've had the Wienermobile. We've had musicians, yoga instructors. And it's just really great to have this place where all of these ideas and concepts and food is being brought across and everyone can access it. The highlights of the market for me are always the vendors. I mean, the vendors are what makes the farmers market have that flavor, that authenticity, that genuine I don't know, just that feeling. You can go and talk to people. They're all so wonderful to talk with. They're clearly passionate about what they do. I mean, you can look at these women that set up these beautiful bouquets. They spend hours and hours and hours. I get here at 4 o'clock in the morning to set up the farmer's market. Most of the flower vendors already have their flowers out. They're all carefully draped with like a very fine cloth to protect them from, you know, dew or rain or the elements. And they just care so much. So I think that's just one of the best things, is just having that feel and that flavor and just getting to know all of those vendors. You don't get that in a grocery store. You don't get that when you buy something online. You don't have that person behind that product that truly cares about it. And they're putting so much energy into that. They're just so great to talk with. The farmers market takes place every Saturday from the end of May to the end of October, from 7 a.m. until noon. We have family-focused events once a month. It's typically the last Saturday of each of those months. They range from, we did a scavenger hunt, we've got an apple creation station coming up here at the end of August. At the end of September, we're going to be doing a great veggie weigh-in, which details will come soon about that. And then at the end of October, to kick off the last market of the season, we're doing a Halloween trick-or-treat and some pumpkin painting. So definitely keeping tabs on that. You can just go to downtowngreenbay.com to find out what's happening at the farmers market. So one way that you can get involved with the local food systems is simply to come down to the Green Bay Farmers Market, any of our farmers markets here in our community, but I would love for you to come down to the Saturday Farmers Market and buy some produce, buy some vegetables, buy some honey or meat or crafts or whatever from any of our amazing vendors. If you want to take it up a notch, you can talk to them about what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they got involved, and they'll give you their story. And they all have such amazing and inspiring stories about why they're in that place at that moment in time and providing you with food. If you want to take it up a step further, you can volunteer with many organizations in our community. New Leaf Foods Group. There's a lot of different opportunities through conservation groups, farming groups, gardening groups to just really volunteer or even find a paid position in our community. It's just all about involvement. So just taking that first step and going to buy some produce or some product aware from a vendor is the first step.